LS11.
Well, a very good evening and welcome to Any News LS11. Well, we didn't think we were going to be back this soon, did we, George? But we are. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, Aaron. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to anybody, wherever you're watching it. It's 7 o'clock now in England. I don't know where it is, wherever you're watching. But yeah, I'm okay, Aaron. Thank you. How are you doing?
Not too bad, sir. Not too bad. It's been
good
a while.
Yes, well, it's been a couple of weeks where we were saying, and like you said, maybe we didn't expect to be here so soon, but I think there is it's good to just check in and see what there has been one or two, points of discussion perhaps over those couple of weeks since we lost the playoff final. So it's good to just check in and see how everybody is as well in the comments there below. They're all coming in already. Jimbo, hello to you. Good evening to you, and good evening to Richard as well, who's joining me from my channel, and also Tommy is just coming in. It is streaming. We are streaming on my channel, The Bearded Peacock, as well. And go check the videos out if you like. And there's Aaron, there's been a couple more subscribers, so that's good. That's good.
Do you know what? He's doing his homework, this lad, and he's getting his subs up. How many subs have you got? What are you aiming for? Are you aiming for a number, or are you not bothered?
Look, I mean, Aaron, I've since I started it, really, the benchmark has got to be 1,000.
Okay.
Because I think that's when the kind of YouTube recognize you a little bit. So that's my initial aim, which has been since I started it. Now that was like 4.5 years ago now. So I'm on 810. So I'm 190 away from that initial benchmark. But it's incredibly difficult. If you want to subscribe to my channel, then do so. You're obviously already subscribed to LS11, which is great because it's the best one around.
It is, and you get to speak to me and George every week on a Thursday.
Yeah, it's great. What do you want? I don't want anything else, Aaron. It's great to speak to you. It's good to see you. You've got that. Now we're sort of opposite in terms of kits here. You've got the home. I've got the third one on.
Yeah.
The kit will be coming out. We have seen mock-ups, I think, which I think is going to be the actual kit. I don't know if anybody else has seen them.
Yeah, many people have been on, haven't they? They've been on Photoshop and stuff, trying to kind of get the kits together. But Red Bull, we know that's going to be the front sponsor for Leeds. I think it's a great deal, that. I think it's fantastic. Levi's have been linked with the shirt sleeve sponsor as well. It's just financially, it's huge, isn't it, for Leeds, having the Red Bull kind of branding. Obviously, we're not going to be called Red Bull Leeds. Just having that financial power helps a lot, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. We spoke about it. Last time, didn't we, Aaron? I think just that news had just come in really a few days after, promotion was failed, if you like. And I mean, I didn't know about Levi's, but again, looks like the sacking off completely off boxed. And Flamingo Land, their contracts must have finished, or they weren't happy, or obviously bigger things came in for them. So fair enough, and it can only be good news this for Leeds, as we discussed before. Yeah, and we know, like you said, Red Bull will be on the front of the shirts. I do think, Aaron, that one that we saw, that I think I posted into the group, didn't I, yesterday? I think that is the shirt. I think it's a bit of a mess, personally, but but and that's nothing to do actually with the Red Bull logo. I think it does really look a little bit messy, but let's wait and see if it is. But I think it will be. It looks pretty legit, that, and I think it's it's around the time where these sort of things start to happen, and I don't think it'll be too long. I think it was early July last season, Aaron, that we saw that shirt that you're wearing there. So
I do actually quite like this.
I like it. It's clean. You know, the sponsor boxed is nice and clean. It matches the colorways of all of the shirts. You know, I've got all but the white one. You know, and I like it. But yeah, we'll wait and see how it goes. I mean, it's not the most important thing, is it? The most important thing is the players who are wearing it. And all that kind of stuff. So
absolutely. Good evening to everybody. Good evening, Jim Boy. Shocked we're on. Shouldn't you be on some sort of post-season tour? Have we beef by now? No, we won't.
That would be nice. Ask Ryan if he and ask Ryan and Darren if they can club together and get us a holiday to Ibiza in the summertime. That'd be all right, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I like this.
Better than this weather here, that is for sure.
Miserable, isn't it? Jimbo, they're very clever. This Levi came in because they heard Archie Gray had good quality jeans. Good evening to Eric Papa as well. Right, George, let's get straight into it. The big news which we've had this week from Leeds is Brendan Aronson coming back to Leeds. Now, you called this, if I remember rightly, back in January. You wanted this guy back. You've got your wish. He's coming back, George. Get in the comments because I'm just generally interested what people think about this. Brendan Aronson, happy or unhappy?
Yeah, well, I think you've answered the set. You've answered it for me, Aaron. I'm happy about it. I'm delighted that he's coming back. If I'm honest with you, like you said, I was calling for it in January. I think we needed a sort of specialist 10. And I think at this level he can do well. I think he'll benefit from a positive atmosphere, which hopefully Daniel Farke will create.
But is he going to get that positive atmosphere? We can talk all about the psychological element here, but is he going to get it? I'm just playing devil's advocate here, George. I want to know what people think in the comments.
Yeah, of course.
He's going to be welcome back. You're welcoming him back. For me, I'm not so welcoming just yet, if I'm being honest, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you. Just hear me out. He
absolutely
walked out on the club when the club needed him the most. He was a big marquee signing for 25 million quid. Do I think he's good enough? Probably not. I don't know. I've got mixed messages about it. I'm not quite happy. I think he should have stuck around last year, if I'm being honest. He shouldn't have just done one.
You see, I think in hindsight, obviously hindsight's a fabulous thing. He would have done, and I think, Aaron, actually this might have been. I know he wanted to trigger the clause, but
that's it. He wanted to go. He didn't say, "Oh, do you know what? I'll give it," because he didn't have to go straight away. He could have said, "Oh, do you know what? I'll give it a few weeks." A few months, obviously relegation. He didn't have to go immediately before the start of the season. The season started in early August last year. He could have gone, towards the back end like Sinisterra did. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that would maybe even harbour even more bad feeling amongst the fan base, because obviously the fans hate Cine, don't they? The way he went about it. Obviously, he's no longer at the club at all. He's signed in January for Bournemouth, but I don't understand. I do understand it. Why people would be angry. A lot of people, people in the comments say, Richard's not happy, but he'll support him because he's wearing Leeds. Again, Jimbo's the same. If he's wearing the Leeds kit, I'll support him. If he's no good, he says he can bugger off. But I just think that, I think Daniel Farke would have wanted Aronson at Leeds last season, but he had no power or no meat in the conversation because the deal had already been done. I think if he'd been able to get in before that deal had been done and convince him to stay at Leeds, I think we'd have seen him in the team last season, and I don't think there would have been this bad feeling towards him. I mean, he's been speaking now, and I've got a quote from him here.
Go for
it. In here, and he's been speaking to the press. America are playing. I think they played Brazil. I don't know what the score was. Aronson did play a bit of the game. I mean, let me just find that, Aaron, because I don't.
I'll find the score if you get the quote.
Yeah, okie dokie. I think it was 1 apiece, but I'm not altogether sure. But basically, he said, I said I wanted to be a big Leeds player. My grandpa brought up that quote to me last week. So I was thinking about it again. It stuck with me. That's what I want to do. I want to go back to the club and do special things. I know how big the club is, how much it means to the people in the city. Come back. I'm going to do the best I can. All I want to do is bring Leeds back to the Premier League. I can't wait to play at Ellen Road in front of our fans again.
Okay. It says the right things. Completely, great. Tick there. However, let's put a bit of reality onto this, George. Is it because nobody wants him?
No, apparently he had offers from Germany, mate. He had offers on the table. I think one was
but who?
Well, who knows? I mean, it's not been disclosed, has it? But I reckon there was, mid-table Bundesliga sides. I think Union Berlin might have wanted him back, but obviously he's gone away. He's thought about it. He's had a chat with his family. Obviously, his granddad has brought up the quote that he said a couple of years ago when he signed for us, and he's obviously obviously resonated with him, and he thought, hang on, I did say that. I actually want to do that. And it doesn't matter in terms of, if you think about it, it doesn't matter what league he's playing in. He will always be part of that American side because the manager likes him at the moment, and it's not going to deter him from that. It's not going to have any bearing on his national team hopes. So what is a year in the second division to potentially, he knows what it's like. He wants to become a special player at Leeds and do special things. And you can only say fair enough to that, Arron. I know he had a poor season at Berlin. It didn't go very well for him, but surely at this level, look, he can do it. There was glimpses of the player in the Premier League, but I know,
and that's the key thing which worries me, George, is that we've seen glimpses. We haven't seen consistent quality.
Yeah, but
mind you, if we had seen consistent quality, he wouldn't be here anyway. He'd have been sold.
Exactly. And also, Arron, we didn't see consistent quality from Georgie, did we? Last, in the Premier League, where he came, he couldn't really get much of a game, and
that's. I think he only came in midway. It was a big ask for him to kind of come in. Big price tag, big kind of, really big expectations in him, but he couldn't do it. I still personally think Jorginho Rutter won't go this summer. I don't think he'll go because nobody's going to fork out 40 million quid.
But what's the difference with Aronson then, mate? Because
with Aronson, it's the quality in Aronson is if the guy farts, he falls over. The guy and hear me out because I need to say this because it's important. In the Championship, it's there's no VAR. You can roll around 3, 4, 5 times and you won't get a free kick, and you can complain and moan and groan. You can't get away with things in the Championship, and tackles are hard in this division. And I think he will be easily targeted, and he will roll around on the floor 4 or 5 times and pretend that he should. He'll be the most guarantee he'll be the most fouled player in the Championship next season.
Potentially, but no, I think he'll be. I think he'll add.
What's he going to bring to the table, then, George?
He'll bring quality.
What is he going?
At this level,
but look at what we had at the end of last season. If you compare it to now, is he going to strengthen or weaken our team? I think he's going to weaken it.
No, he won't weaken it. No, he's not going to weaken the team. Come on. I think he can only improve the team.
What qualities does he give to that team right now? Yes, we can talk about who's going to. Let's pretend nobody goes. Just for this, this is the squad there at the moment. What does Brendan Aronson bring to the table for Leeds United moving forwards?
I would say
you're going to have to convince me here because I don't think he brings much to the table. I don't know what people in the comments think, but I don't think he brings anything.
He brings energy to the table, doesn't he?
Well, he didn't have energy in the Premier League.
Yeah, but I think It's completely different to the Premier League, Aaron.
I completely
say
agree.
if
I
he can't
completely
hack
agree.
it, if he can't hack it at championship level, then you don't want to know. I feel like he needs the opportunity for people.
But
Obviously, no disrespect, like yourself, Aaron, who don't want to know him in a Leeds United shirt. He
oh no,
needs to get.
listen. George, I'm playing devil's advocate here. You need to convince me what this guy is going to bring to the party here. Like Eric Papa said, he's going to be the sub at best.
I don't think
You
he
know what I
will
mean?
be. I don't think he will be.
The
He,
difference,
he,
let's just listen to what the people are saying. The difference is Aronson just managed 2 goals and 2 assists in 30 appearances. Yes, it was the Premier League. Rutter, or whatever that stat is, Rutter, 48 appearances, 7 goals and 15 assists. That's what
exactly.
Rutter brings to the table.
But in the Championship, that was the Premier League. The stat for
I don't know.
Aronson.
I don't know what Watch Long Leeds are saying. That it could be anything. It could be the. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. I think you're talking Watch Long Leeds about his stats in the Bundesliga, maybe.
Okay, well, the Bundesliga is a higher league.
Yeah, I think that's it.
If you the league,
yeah, the Bundesliga,
okay. So if you double that in, let's just put an extra quarter on it, make it 15 appearances, and so 45 appearances, 2 assists, 2 goals. So
I think he started. I think he started. He started 14 games, I think, in the Bundesliga, and all of his goals, I think, both of his goals came towards the end of the season. But they had a horrible season as well. Collectively, it was similar to the one that we had when he was with us.
But so, what is he going to bring to the table, George? Because we talked about, his statistics, and we've looked at what he's done in the past. What extra edge is this guy going to bring to the party to get us into the Premier League?
Well, like I said, I think he'll bring about quite a bit of energy. Pressing. he'll run at defences. I personally think, yes, he might be a target for, Championship defences. Big meathead defenders, but I think he's got to find a way around that, and I think he will. I think maybe he might struggle the first couple of games, get used to it, but the boys who played with him in the Premier League will be there as well. Like you said, I think Rutter will still be at Leeds.
So could you put Aronson and Rutter in the same team here now?
Well, he won't do, will he?
So this is the thing, in that 10 position, Rutter did it quite well for me last year.
Sorry, I say he won't do it, Aaron. He will do it. He won't have Rutter as a 10. He'll put Rutter out on the wing, I think.
Okay.
Because obviously Cree will be sold. Willie Nonto might, I think, in the end be sold.
I don't think anybody. Listen, I genuinely, the only one for me I think of the outs would be Somerville, because he's got the label of EFL Championship Player of the Year. He's got a little bit of substance to his price tag, and he has got the quality. But I think Leeds will hold out for a big fee, and I think if they don't get the big fee, I don't think they will. So I can't see the Leeds of old where they sold, your star players for pittance, I think has gone. They're in a real strong bargaining position here with Somerville. They've got to demand no less than 35 million quid, and they say, okay, Crystal Palace, you could buy him, but you got to pay 35 million quid up front.
Yeah, that's exactly what they'll do. That, like you said, they will. They'll be like, they won't be bowled over. They'll, and I think Creed don't really seem like the kind of character like your Sinisteras who spit the dummy out the pram if they're not given what they want. Yeah. He'll probably happily, if he needs to, spend another season in the Championship League. He knows he can, as you say, cook. He knows he can do it. He will. If he is in it again, he will absolutely destroy it. So, if he don't get his move, I don't think he'll be too disheartened. I think he'll knuckle down and he'll do his best to try and get us in the Premier League.
Okay, so going back to my original point, Brendan Aronson brings energy. Is that it?
I think he brings energy. He brings he brings goals to the table. Look, I would really like to see him get some goals. He needs some kind of positivity going around, and he's had a couple of bad years. Don't make him a bad player, really. He's had a lot of disappointment over the last few years. Obviously, personally, as well, didn't go as well as he wanted it. Here, did it? Didn't go as well as he wanted it to in the Bundesliga in Berlin. So,
but does that not prove he's not good enough, though?
No, I don't believe so. It might have just been the wrong circumstance. He might have struggled to make himself at home in Leeds.
If I just throw this out there, if you look at somebody like Jack Harrison, who's been out on loan at Everton, who's probably going to go out on loan again unless he's sold, you look at Jack Harrison's impact with Everton, and you look at Aronson's impact with Union Berlin. There's a real difference here. One's clearly more established and the more of an elite player compared to the one who isn't, which I don't think Aronson is just good.
Yeah, but again, though, Aaron, it's a bit unfair to put them two against each other, because
it's a similar league. It's a similar league, similar teams, similar finishing positions. Obviously, Union Berlin just starved off relegation, whatever they did in the Bundesliga. Yeah. Everton did, even though they were comfortable, even though the three promoted teams last season were just poor. Do you know what I mean? You've got to look at the both aspects here. If you're comparing Brendan Aronson to be better and add more quality to this team, if you'd have said to me, "Oh, do you know what? He's a free kick specialist. He's going to help us with corners and free kicks," I'm like, "Oh yeah, I could see that." But even then, I can't see him, strengthening that department. I think set pieces next season is going to be a key thing for Leeds, because I think we've been poor all season. We've been poor for a while on those. We just don't have that attacking threat. Brendan Aronson. I'm yet to be sold on the idea, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly, but I mean, if he, like I said, if he gets up to speed quickly and he scores a couple of goals or gets a couple of assists or whatever and affects the game in a positive way, I honestly don't see a downside. He's our player. He's wanting to come back and fight and enjoy football again. I honestly I don't see a problem at all. And also, Aaron, he's your son. He's Aaron's son. So I don't know how you're downing on him, really. But there you go. That's
I'm just yet to be sold. Listen, I will support I'll support the lad if he puts the shirt on, he fights for his cause, and he proves us all wrong. Great, I'll be the first one to admit that. I am. Yeah. But for this, I'm yet to be sold, because I don't see what he brings to the table in that team as it stands. There is going to be some outs, we know that, but is Aronson replacing Somerville a good thing? I don't think so.
Well, Aronson won't replace Somerville, Aaron.
Well, yeah, but out. One's going to come in, one's going to go out. Yeah, come on.
But there will be a winger that replaces Somerville. There might even be two. And also, you're comparing Harrison and Aronson, but Aronson had to adjust as a younger lad who'd obviously been playing in Australia.
£25 million for this club.
But yes, but he had to. He might not have been able to adjust as quickly as he wanted to living in England or whatever, or he might have struggled with it a bit.
He got more points. He got more points on his driving license than what he did for Leeds.
Well, he probably did. I mean, you think you're going to be screwing now, Aaron. I think you'll be screwing in a bit when Christensen rocks up and decides he wants to stay.
Jesus
so
Christ. Is that happening?
I think that probably will happen eventually, Aaron. So just brace yourself for it.
Do who would you rather have, Aronson or Christensen? Do you know what? Neither.
It's the same situation, Aaron. I think with Christensen. I think if he wants
Nobody wants him because he's shit.
Well, no, I don't.
How it is.
I don't think he.
It's great.
He would be.
Denmark is it Euros, but it's going to be.
No, I mean, I don't even know if he is. I think he is in the Denmark. Is he? I thought he was. So look, we've got a little bit of meat in these games. Obviously, Denmark are in England's group, aren't they? So, Yeah, I don't know. I just think
Saka or whoever's on the wing absolutely tears shred.
I don't think he'll play. I don't think he's been a starter for Denmark, to be honest. But I don't know. I mean, look, Aronson wants to stay. Maybe Christensen does as well. We know the fair, the decent pals, aren't they? Obviously played at Salzburg together as well. They know each other, pretty well, I think. So maybe there's this discussion between the two of them, and maybe I think he'll be all right. I mean, look at Firpo as well. You've got to say, I think Christensen will be all right. We need another right back. They want Roberts, don't they, back?
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more of Roberts, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Not Tyler Roberts, Connor Roberts. I think he would bring. I think he brings a lot more to the party, does Connor Roberts, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but
Thomas Christensen.
Rasmus Christensen.
Rasmus Christensen, not Thomas Christensen.
I mean, Thomas Christensen, you know who he's managing, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Is it Panama?
Yeah. So he'll be in the Copa America as well as Jesse Marchand.
Those poor Panamese fans.
Well, I think they absolutely smashed Lee Bowyer's team the other day, if I remember correctly. He's at Montserrat.
Yeah, I just want to jump into some of the comments because it's quite interesting to see what people were saying. Obviously, Eric says sub at best for Aronson. Richard says, I think he had crap offers. Nobody wanted him, so has to come back. Well, that's fine, but as long as you've got a lot to prove to the Leeds fans. Richard also says, Nomto started falling at this time. It does my head in. Brendan will not get fouls in the championship, so better stand up and get on with it.
Yeah, it's
a really good one. John, good evening, John. Evening, boys. He's checking in from Old Trafford, waiting for the football fighters. I think he means the Foo Fighters to come on stage. There you go, George. We're live, not at that Old Trafford where a certain Manchester club plays. It's the Lancashire Cricket Club, I believe.
I was going to say, John, wash your mouth out if you've come on and talked about Old Trafford, but hopefully it's the cricket ground, is it? I don't know.
I think it is. He'll come back and tell us. I hope it's nice and dry there, but I think I've seen a few people on my socials who were there and they've all got ponchos on. Enzio says, evening, Aaron, Josh. I feel the same about the players who left out on low, but over time I've come to terms with that. It's a job to these players and to move for full pay and play in the Champions League. Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, exactly. Look, he had the opportunity to go and maybe further his career and get a permanent move to a team that might have been playing in the Champions League past last season. He played at the Bernabeu last season. I think at the same night we were playing. I think we were away at Hull or playing the QPR at home or something like that. So I mean, he had the opportunity to go and play in the Champions League, and he ended up playing at the Bernabeu. So and just incidentally, it was a 1-1 draw with Brazil.
It was. I did.
Yeah.
I did check it, yeah.
Rafinha got the assist, didn't he, for Brazil? Aronson played the last 15 minutes. So.
Good. Okay. Well, he's going back to Leeds. We will get behind him, I am sure. And let's hope to God he's learnt to not fall over, puts a bit of weight on, and really mans up to the delights of playing Oxford United away.
I mean...
where else are we going? Portsmouth and...
It's Derby, isn't it?
Derby, yes, of course. There's all specials.
It all came back to me a little bit, and when I was reading this interview with him, and he said it was an awesome chat with Daniel Farke, and I'm thinking, awesome. That's exactly how he would describe it. Of course, he would. Yeah. But I don't think I don't know why people are hating on him so much. He seems like quite a nice, likable lad.
Listen, I don't hate the guy. If he could come in and play Derby County on the first game of the season at Ellen Road, whenever it will be,
if it is,
and he scores a brace and everything's happy and we absolutely destroy them 4-5-0. Everything's good. And he keeps that consistency even better. And then we can flog him in January.
No, it'll be here for the season.
Yeah.
But then again, if we go up and he stars in it, confidence again, it would be the same with Ruter. If we'd have gone up this time, confidence is back. I mean, I do hope we keep on hold of Jorginho because I think he'll star again next season and be even more comfortable with the league next season than he was this last season. So I'm sort of excited to see what the makeup is for the team. I mean,
in terms of outs thing, George, I think we've both kind of settled that Somerville will leave.
Yes.
This summer we think we'll put that split nailed on. Any other departures, from the squad?
I think Willie, like I said, I think Willie will eventually go. I think somebody will come in for him. But again, I think he seems completely turned now. Like you said, I think, Aaron, not too long ago, is he can't do what he did again.
No.
Like last summer. It's either you go or you stay. You don't make a silly farce about it like you did last season. You go or you stay. And he's young enough, I wouldn't be completely surprised if he stayed.
I think he will stay, and the reason why is because he's not obviously in the Euro squad with Italy.
Yeah.
There isn't a major kind of tournament coming up next year, so he's got no real drive to say, look, I need a move away to get into the World Cup squad for Italy or whatever. There isn't, and I think that's what's holding a lot of things in Leeds' favour, because the Euros is happening on tomorrow. It starts tomorrow, doesn't it? And it lasts till the beginning of July. And you think, right, okay, well, you look at Somerville, if he's got aspirations to get into the Netherlands squad, is he going to do it? Would he have done it if Leeds had gone up? Probably not. If he got a move to somewhere like Liverpool or wherever, he would probably be looked at. But I think that's the only thing. The only saving grace for Leeds is there's no real major tournament coming up next year. Obviously, the one tomorrow, but next year there isn't really anything on tomorrow.
No, there isn't. And I think, I think this is what Willie Nonto was obviously badly advised in the end, Arron, was, there's a Euros coming up next year as it was. You need to get yourself into the top division so that you can get back into the Italian squad. Yeah. I think that was probably what his people were saying to him. So like you said, it's a good point. There's nothing, in terms of it's not till 2026, is it? The next World Cup. So, yeah, I think you're probably right.
And Leeds could be an established 17th place side then.
Well, yeah, we could be in the Premier League. So, yeah, it's I think Willie's only 20, isn't he, still? So, it's not. He's got time. He can afford to stay another season in the Championship. And, I think there's contract talks for him. So if they can get him on a good whack, and say, look, take us to the Premier League. Yeah. I think it'd be hard for him to say no, really, because like you said, Leeds will hold out like they will with Somerville for a big fee, and I don't think many people are going to come in for that sort of fee. So it's
Somerville, it's quite simple, and I think this is where Parag has got to really show his mettle here and say, yeah, okay, we don't have to sell him. They don't have to, because all the PSR. The PRS or whatever, it's PSR is secure. If you look at the figures, what Kieran Maguire's, the journalist has put out, it's okay. We've factored in the sales in January with Sinistera and Adams, so we've got a little bit, of I'm not going to say money in the bank because we haven't, but in terms of PSR rules, we should be okay, but. It's what Richard says there. He's happy at Leeds' Somerville. He will not force a move, although it might be out of his hands if we need the money. And that's the key thing, isn't it? Money talks.
Well, it does, Aaron. Of course it does. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if we do get big amounts of money for all of them, for both of them or any other body in the squad, mate, they're going to go, aren't they? And you can't blame them because we didn't go up, so they're gonna be like, big bits of money, 30 million for Somerville. I think they'll want similar for Willie. If somebody pays it, they'll go. I think that's the same for anybody in the squad, mate. I mean, you know, you've got to say that because we're not a Premier League side, and I don't think we're in a strong position in terms of they're all under contract. So you're going to have to pay big money for them, but also I think as well, you know, we don't have to sell them, and I think the boys are. If you asked them, they're probably both pretty happy. Like I said, to kind of if the move doesn't come off, just to kind of knuckle down, get the head down. They know Daniel now as the manager, and just they know the league. Just knuckle down and get on with it, and show your best qualities, and no doubt you will end up getting a move in the near future because they're both young players, they're both quality players, and I think we're lucky to have them. I think Somerville though will go. Willie's a bit. I'm not sure about. I think the only other one is Gruev, but you don't know. And personally, for me, if we lost those two and kept the rest of them and replaced with decent quality, I'd be okay with it, and I'd fancy our chances to win it. To be fair.
Oh, he's getting his early predictions in. I just want to jump in here because there's a couple of good points here. Eric says Red Bull changes a lot of things, speaks pound signs. They'll all want a piece of it, especially if we go up. George, I just want to talk about because the retained list has obviously come out as well over the last couple of weeks. Sam Byram, 1-year extension to his deal. Good or bad?
I think it's fine, Arron, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, if we'd have gone up, I think he would have been a free agent. I think, again, he knows Farke, doesn't he, as the manager, and he knows how he plays. And I think he's a bit of I say reliable. He's not really because he's always injured. But I think when he's on the pitch, he's kind of reliable, isn't he? And Farke likes him. Farke's known him for a while and worked with him. So I think that's fine. I don't think he'll play much. I think we'll be actively trying to get a right back in. So I don't think Sam will play a great deal, but he's good for backup. And if we do get Roberts back, like you said, Arron, I'd like to see that. I do think Christensen will come back as well, so it'll be battle out between two of them maybe who wants to have the right back spot. Because Gray, I don't think we'll see him in a right back role like we did this season. I think Gray will go back into the centre of midfield.
And obviously, there's been the players who have been released from Leeds. A couple of ones in there. I'll just go through them. Charlie Allen, Luke Ayling, which you knew about. Lewis Bates. I forgot he was on our books still. He won't be coming back. Keenan Carroll, Stuart Dallas, Cuba Debo. I'll probably pronounce his name wrong. Scott Godden, Ian Paveda. He's gone. Morton Spencer, Harvey Sutcliffe, and Danny Van Den Heuvel.
Danny Van Den Heuvel, the goalkeeper.
Gone. A couple of ones in there. Obviously, Lewis Bate, we knew about him. Dallas, Paveda, Ayling. A couple of youth kids have moved on. But the biggest one for me, which just caught me out with that statement, which Leeds sent, was the offered a new contract to Harry Christie, Joseph Snowden, Luca Thomas, but Cody Drama. Speaking of right backs, Cody Drama has been offered a new contract by Leeds United. That's the one which has completely caught me off guard. I don't know about you.
Well, I mean,
I thought he'd gone. Didn't he go to Birmingham?
No, he went on loan to Birmingham. He's always gone on loan. It was a loan deal. I think I think it's because everybody expected him to go because he was out of contract. I don't think they expected him, obviously, to be given a new contract, which he obviously looks like he's going to be. Doesn't mean he's going to sign it, Arron, to be honest with you.
No, he can go anywhere he wants.
Because I think he'll weigh up the options if you've got maybe Roberts coming in and you've maybe got Christensen coming back.
Yeah.
Will he want to stick around again and have it, torn to pieces again? I don't think so. I don't think he'll sign it, to be honest with you.
you think he'll go? He's not going to hang around.
Like I said, it doesn't mean he's going to sign it. I think he'll go. I mean, we haven't really never seen the best of it. There's obviously something not quite right there, unfortunately, between him and Leeds. Maybe I just don't know what the issue seems to be. You know, but it just hasn't fitted. He hasn't fitted with how we played when he's played. I don't think he's been too good. I know the season that he broke in. Was it the 21-22 season?
Yeah.
He played the odd game, didn't he? And he didn't really look too good. It was under difficult circumstances. He played the game early on in the season, didn't he, against Ipswich Town, where we won 4-3. Made a couple of errors in that game, and I think I don't know. I mean, it's a bit of a strange one. Yeah. I mean, I just want to say, Aaron, I'm a bit sad for Keenan, really, for Keenan Carroll, really, because it's a shame. I was hoping that he might make it into the first team, but he's obviously been released, hasn't he? So,
yeah,
because you know, I spoke to his dad, of course, and I had a really good chat with him, and I'd message him occasionally, you know, and he got on as a pre-season game, I think, and I messaged him, and he said, yeah, he's, you know, hopefully they'll get in, but obviously he never did. And what a shame, really.
Yeah, real shame. But the thing is, this is the nature of the beast with football, isn't it? You know, these young kids, you know, only the smallest percentage of kids actually make it, and that's the nature of the beast. You can train, and you know, work hard, but it doesn't always work out, and for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean,
do you know what he's going to do? What's he going to do then? Obviously, being released.
I don't know. I mean, for those people who don't know, his dad's Seb Carroll, who played for us in League One. But I know I haven't spoke to him for a little while. But I don't know. I mean,
give him a text, George, and tell him to listen to use LS11.
Yes, I will, and commiserations to his lad as well. But I'm sure I get another. Yeah, I'm sure I get another club possibly.
Yep. The other two, which kind of caught me by surprise. You know what's going to come up here. There's two who are in talks about extending their contracts. The return of Mr. Liam Cooper, George.
I mean,
we thought he was going. We thought he was up here.
We had his fingers crossed.
You did, I didn't. Liam Cooper and Jamie Shackleton are in talks with the club extending their contracts. How about that?
Well,
we thought we were going after the Norwich game.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody did. That's why he gave that. And I think he did as well. I think this had probably caught him off guard as well. And I think, to be honest with you, Aaron, I think Liam Cooper is our only club representative in the Euros that people will probably proudly say is a Leeds United player, because the other two, I think there's only two others. And I think, you know, those two have pretty much been disowned by Leeds fans. So I know you know who they are.
Just remind the fans who they are.
Well, I mean, obviously there's Christensen, who playing for Denmark, and I'm pretty sure Max Vober's in the Austrian squad. So there you two. I mean, they, like I said, they might both end up at Leeds next season. Who knows? I think Max Vober again will as well. So, you know, we've just got to welcome them back in, I think.
Just interested in, George, because we over the years we've disagreed on Liam Cooper, me and you.
Yeah.
Giving him another 1 year deal, would you take that as things stand or not? Would you say see you later? Would you call time?
That's ridiculous. Yeah, I'd call time on it. I don't know what they're doing, to be fair.
Again, Rodon might not come back. You're going to be short.
Rodon won't come back. I think there's on about. I mean, Eric said about Cresswell, who's been interesting. German second division sides. I think Cresswell will probably go. I think obviously Rodon, I don't think he'll come back. I think he will go to the Premier League. I think Vober, that's where I think Vober will come back in.
Vober and Cooper back at centre.
No, it'll be Vober It'll be Vauban and Purdue, won't it? And I think, I don't think that's too bad. I think a lot of Leeds fans really don't like Max Vauban because obviously
he was this time last year. He did he was all photographed in this, wasn't he? At Howard House.
I know.
He did all the stunts and he said the right thing and then literally pulled the plug on Zadamovsky.
Yeah, I think that's it though, isn't it? I think maybe they'll have learned from it and they realise, actually I am still a Leeds player. I think he's been very coy on what's going to happen. I think they're obviously trying to focus on the Euros, but I think he's almost led it into Leeds, see what Leeds want to do first. And, if they want, maybe he's open to, I think he'll probably come back, me personally. It was a bit of a strange one, wasn't it, really? Because he'd signed this long contract only like 6 months or so before that we got relegated, and then, then he was off. So, and if he does play again, he's a good quality to have in this division. So, maybe we're stronger. I'd be sad not to see Rodon back, to be fair, but I don't think he will do.
Of all the lone players which we had, I would love to see Rodon back.
We didn't have many, really, did we?
We had Anthony and
Roberts.
Roberts, that's it. The three, Rodon would be the one who I would say.
Well, I think the one in Rodon, aren't they? But I think Spurs exercised the 1 year extension, didn't they? So
you know why they've done that, don't you, George?
Well, to try and get some money for him. That's all. He's not going to play.
So do you think Leeds are doing that with Cody Drama though, to try and get a little bit of money for him?
Well, yeah, potentially. I mean,
because he doesn't have to sign that, doesn't Rodon? I think it does. Does he? I don't know. I think it does.
I don't know. I think it might be in his contract, maybe clause in his contract. I don't know, but he won't play for Tottenham, will he? He'll have signed a contract, then he'll go on loan, or like you said, get a fee for him, so they can get a little bit more money for him. Obviously, they couldn't get any money for him if he went on a free. So, I think. Yeah, I don't expect him to be back. I'll be sad about it because he was good, and I think,
it's one to watch that, isn't it? With
it is, but also it is to watch the relationship between Leeds and Tottenham, because I'm sure you've read it as well, Aaron, in The Athletic. Obviously, sad to see Phil Hay go. We need to give him
a special mention, Phil Hay.
He's ended his 18 years, he said, of covering Leeds, and he's just gone like that. Yeah. So
the guy needs a testimonial or something.
He does. He needs two. He was there nearly 20 years, didn't he? But no, everybody loves him. I mean, it's crazy, to look at the amount of kind of things the Leeds fans have said about him, and obviously he's covered them for a long time, but he's gone. I can't remember the new lady's name of the key report. Nancy Ward or something like that, is it? Yeah, she's new. She's announced herself today as the new reporter for The Athletic for Leeds. So I suppose we'll be all asking her what's going on eventually. So, but I think she did an article this morning about Skip, the one in Skip, or she said if centre midfield options were available or wanted, then Skip would be an option that they would want to explore. So, and it seems to be a lot of them that are. Obviously Rodon came. There was a lot of links with Sessegnon, who I think has gone now. His contract's set to expire. Yeah. There seems to be a lot of links between Leeds and Spurs, and I'm not sure where it's come from, but it does seem to be a little bit of a relationship going between the two clubs. So that's good, because they've got a decent, obviously. Squad there, so if we can nab one or two of their players, then that'll be fine,
Yeah, absolutely. So interesting news, lots of news which is coming out of LS11 and Ellen Road. Obviously with Aronson, Roberts, Rodon, Liam Cooper, Cody Drama. I could give you a bit of breaking news. I know where Willie Nonto's gone. I know where he's gone. He's gone on his holidays. Would you like to know where he's gone?
Has he? Where's he gone?
He was a source of mine. My sister, in fact, saw him at Leeds Bradford Airport because she works there, and she saw him depart on a flight to the south of France. He's gone to Nice.
Oh, lovely.
He's gone to
Your
the south of
sister's
France.
your sister seemed to see them all. Did she get a photo with him this?
She didn't get a photo with him this time. She didn't have a phone with her, but yes, she managed to check in Willie on tour to his flight to Nice. In the south of France.
And he
That's
was
where
on,
he is right now.
and he was on and that was today. That was today. Was
no,
it?
this is about 4 days ago.
Right.
Ago. So that's where Willie Nonto is.
Oh, right. And he was with, was he by himself or?
He was on his own. He's just gone on his nice
Really?
little holiday. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
And it's nice to see that they use jet2.com. We're not sponsored by Jet2, but there you go.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I suppose they've got to get about like the rest of us, haven't they? I mean, I remember when I was young, I think we were on a flight from France to Manchester, maybe. Yeah. And we were sat in front of a couple of Premier League players.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Henry Kamara.
All right.
And Amdi Faye. Amdi Faye used to play latterly for Leeds. I can't remember who he was playing for at the time.
Right, okay.
But those two lads were sat in front of us on a flight back from, I think it might have been Paris, but I can't remember. But yes, so even Premier League players at the time were using, budget airlines, I guess. So.
Oh, well, it takes you one direction, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, and also I remember as well, we saw Phil Jagielka on a flight to Albufeira, me and my pals one time, and my pal who was a Man City fan, he went up to him and he really liked him, and he said, "Oh, can I have an autograph? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A picture or whatever." And I think he was off to play golf. But it's look, like you said, they've got to go one direction. They can't always have private jets and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, the clubs probably pay for them, don't they? So, you know what I mean? I mean, they will have, obviously, dosh. They'll have a lot of cash, but
you ain't going to get to the south of France.
Well, exactly.
You've got to use an aeroplane.
He can't fly, can he? That ain't going to get him wings, is it? Or maybe,
well, he needs to drink some Red Bull, doesn't he?
Exactly, there you go. So, that's it. But yeah, exactly. So he's got to get there somehow. And good that he's using the local airport as well.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's like a bus stop as well. I bet he got accosted all the way to the plane, really.
Yeah, really don't. Yeah, probably. Anyway, George, we've got the Euros starting tomorrow. Germany versus Scotland. Who are you fancying for the Euros, George? Because we need to talk about some football. We can't just talk about Jet2 and Willie Nonto in Leeds Bradford Airport. We've got a little bit of football to look forward to. Will you be partaking in the European Championships this season?
Yeah, I'll be watching it, Aaron. Yeah, I'll be watching it.
Who are you liking the look of? Any
football
favourites?
Any football that's on, I'll watch it, mate. There's 3 games a day starting on Saturday, I think. So, I mean, I haven't really looked at it too much, actually, really, the sort of the squads and that sort of thing. But you've got to fancy me now, it says Italy or France. I think one of them two, or Germany, maybe, because it's the home tournament. I think they'll play up. England won't last past the second round or the quarterfinals. Probably they won't get too far. I mean, I've almost switched off from England. I don't really care, to be absolutely honest.
Really, you haven't got the bug yet.
No, not at all. I mean, I'll watch football because it's football, but I'm not too bothered about England.
Not fancying England to go all the way and bring it home, then, George?
Not at all, mate. No, not at all. I just, they just don't look inspiring, do they? Really? I mean, I think when Sunday comes and we're playing Sunday evening out against Serbia, I think the buzz will start to come in. Because you start to, I mean, I'm saying I don't care about it, but when it starts, you're like, oh, come on, then England, let's win, let's have it, let's win it. But at this moment, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not like, so it doesn't bother me really if we
No.
win or lose.
I don't know with England, but I think for me, I'm being honest with you now. I think the golden opportunity was to win it the last time in 2021. I don't think we'll ever have that opportunity again to literally win a major tournament. I think England will get knocked out by France in the semi-finals. The one that I fancied, though, the country who I'm really think could win the thing isn't Italy or France. I think Portugal could do it. I really do.
Yeah,
They look
I mean,
good. You know, they're unbeaten in qualifying. I was having a look today.
all
Unbeaten in
right.
qualifying. I think Ronaldo, yes, he's 39. Yes, he plays in Saudi Arabia. You can argue all that, but he's going to want to go out because this is probably going to be his last kind of major tournament. He's want to go and win this. He will want to go out with a bang. And I can see him get the golden boot as well, if I'm being honest. He's going to absolutely tear it apart.
Yeah, look, I think Portugal are always on the cards, aren't they? They won it in, what was it? When did they win it? 2016 or was it? So they've won it fairly recently. I think they're always on the cards. Roberto Martinez is the manager, isn't he, nowadays? So they've got a good roster. They've always got a good squad. So I don't, maybe, yeah. I mean, they're always going to be up there. Holland as well might be in the mix potentially.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see. But I don't think it'll be England. And also, like we've mentioned it, earlier on, the Copa America starts, I think, a week later.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I said, we have meeting that now that Aronson is coming back. So people maybe want to keep an eye on how America do. Obviously, it is in America as well. And there's that, there's that for you, Aaron. There's that Bielsa factor as well for you. So obviously, Uruguay
will absolutely destroy it and win the thing. They'll win it 10-0. They'll win every game 10-0. They look good to Uruguay. Have you seen some of the highlights? They look
yeah, they do. I mean, it brought back a lot of memories for everybody, didn't it? From how we were playing when he was here. So yeah, I think Uruguay.
If only.
Well, yeah, I mean, look,
come back on load.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, what he could do with this team would be quite scary because it was quite a depleted team if you look at that team compared to the one we've got now, really, wasn't it? So, but that's what happened. But yeah, that starts in a week tomorrow, I think it does. So it's a week behind the Euros. But I'll definitely be watching the Euros, Aaron.
Yeah.
Like I said, once it comes on, I'll probably be a little bit more enthused about it than I am now.
Yeah. I was reading some of that. England are the favourites to win the Euros. And I don't know why the hell we are. I don't get it.
I don't know. I think it's just based on, I don't know, maybe it's because it's the Premier League and a lot of them play in the Premier League. And, they're said to be a lot of, a really, really good side, aren't they? Apart from the English people and the English media, I think outside of that, you ask anybody about this England team and they'll fancy them just because of the names on the team sheet, really. But they don't play like a team; they play like individual players, and it's just not good enough. They don't play good football. It's just boring. It's just boring.
Hey, you never know. We could be sat here in a couple of weeks thinking, England are going to win the thing. There's a couple of predictions then, George, though. I'm going to bring in the Scots because for our Scottish viewers, and we do have a few Scottish viewers, we need to mention that. We do have some Scottish links at Leeds United. How do you see their game going tomorrow, George, against the host Germany?
They'll get beat. They'll get beat comfortably, I think.
Any predictions? Come on, we're going to do some predictions.
Prediction
for the Scotland-Germany game.
5-0 Germany.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll be that bad?
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, they'll get beat easy.
5-0. They'll be going up. They'll be packing the bags straight after.
Well, they might as well anyway. They'll be home in a few weeks anyway.
The thing is, Luke Cooper will be coming back and signing his contract within hours after that.
It'll be. Yeah, they'll be out. They'll be out with. I don't know when the group stage ends. I think it's a couple of weeks' time. They'll be going home. I think.
Okay. Okay. Eric says 1-1 Germany Scotland.
Who else is in the group, Aaron?
For
Scotland.
Okay, I can tell you now.
Is it Hungary and
I can tell you now.
I think it's
Jump onto my
Hungary.
phone. Group A: Germany, Hungary, Scotland, and Switzerland.
Yeah, they're not getting out of that, are they? So
no. Well, it's a weird thing into the Euros because they've obviously got this best third place
yeah,
or whatever it is.
yeah.
So you can pretty much draw one game and you might get through.
Yeah, you can draw. You can draw all three and get through, or you can draw two and lose one and probably still get through. So
yeah. And then obviously in Group B, you've got Albania, Croatia, Italy, and Spain. That's a real tough group. That I think there's going to be a big upset in that group. And then the English fans among us: Group C, Denmark, England, Serbia, and Slovenia. George, how are England going to do on Sunday against the Serbs?
I don't know. I mean, I think they'll just stink it. Maybe 2-1 England. Yeah. I think maybe, but it'll be a difficult game. I think Serbia will be difficult to break down. They've got some decent players in that team, and
Mitrovic.
Yeah, Mitrovic obviously will be up for it, having played a lot of his football in England. So it's going to be difficult, that one, really. But I think they'll win. I think they should get through the group pretty okay.
Yeah.
I think it's just after that it just gets difficult. I mean, Eric says it. Yeah, obviously Greece won it, which was amazing, really, wasn't it, in 2004? But
I can remember that. It was brilliant.
It was crazy, wasn't it? You know, they beat Portugal in Portugal, wasn't it?
Yeah. They beat them,
you know, somehow they won, and well, these things happen, don't they? But that's definitely not a comparison to how England, because it wouldn't be that much of a shock for a lot of people if England did win it. You know, there's some really, you know, teams that you just think, how on earth did they qualify, really? But what can you know?
Slovenia. Slovenia could beat England now?
Not Slovenia so much. I mean, Slovenia are in our group, are they?
They are, yes.
I mean, they've got the lads Sesko, haven't they? Who's everybody's raving about, haven't they? He's Slovenian.
You got to admit, when you look at some of these, you must think, how on earth did Slovakia qualify? And I'm not being disrespectful here.
I mean,
and you look at Georgia. Georgia are in there. You think, come on now, how on earth is this possible for these? I think it's great for them, though.
Oh yeah,
Greece are in it as well for the first time.
Greece in it as well.
They are, I believe. I think Greece are back in it.
Poyet's not the manager still, is he? I think he got sacked.
Oh no, they might not be. I don't think Greece.
I don't think Greece are in it. I don't know if Poyet was the manager, wasn't he, for a bit? I don't know if he got sacked or what, but I don't know if they are in it. But
no, they're not.
Romania are the other one that sort of caught my eye. That you think, how on earth how have you got there? But I think those two, Georgia and Romania, two of them teams, you just think, how on earth have you got there, really? Well, it might be what's his name, Kvaratskhelia, because the lad who plays for Napoli.
All right, okay.
I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah,
my Romanian and Georgian
football
knowledge is zero.
He was linked with us a few years ago.
All right, okay. Don't know.
Kvaratskhelia. I don't know. He plays for Napoli, but he's big. He's big.
So go on then, George. What's your prediction then for the Serbia game? You're going 2-0, 2-1?
2-1, I think. 2-1 to England. I don't know where it is. Is it Gelsenkirchen that they're playing in?
Again, my knowledge of Germany isn't that great. I can tell you now, when I think it's Gelsenkirchen. It is the Veltins Arena. Wherever
in Gelsenkirchen.
It's in Germany somewhere. That's all I know.
I think it's Gelsenkirchen they play.
Okay. Excellent.
Which, hang on, I think so.
Okay.
Well,
we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when we do our show this time next week, we'll know if England are going to qualify from the Euros.
Well, yeah.
We'll probably know where we're at and where we're going.
Thursday. Well, we'll be playing. What we'll have played at this time next week. We'd have played 2 of the 3 games. Played Denmark at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, we should do a little match reaction.
Yeah, we could do.
I'll try Jerry's shoes.
Yeah, try and watch it. Yeah. See
Bro.
what they do.
Well,
see if Christensen gets a game,
Yeah, we could talk about Christensen and how crap he is. Right. Anyway, listen, George, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to everybody who has joined us this evening. We hope you've enjoyed our show. We will be back next week to discuss how Thomas Christensen is. No, not Thomas Christensen, for God's sake. Rasmus Christensen. Rasmus bloody Christensen. Thomas Christensen was the bloody manager.
Yes. We will see how he gets on, though. In the Copa America, you could save it like that, Arron.
Well, we could say it like that, but he will be
if
just
you
as
wanted
bad.
to. Well, yeah, probably. I mean, Panama aren't going to do much.
They'll be already booking their flights home. We will be back next week with more news and views and discussing Rasmus Christensen. We'll see you then.
See you then. Marching on together.